After decluttering 400 items in one day, I realized that my house needed a whole home declutter. Choosing to simplify your entire space can feel overwhelming. Where do you start? What if I regret getting rid of something? How do I achieve a simple space when I have a family or live with others? I am breaking down the process of simplifying your home into 4 phases. Clearing visual clutter, closets, cupboards, and drawers, a place for everything, and the garage. Clearing visual clutter. I am a person that is deeply affected by my surroundings. Being in a cluttered space with stuff everywhere completely overwhelms me. This is why I start the decluttering process with clearing visual clutter. To some, it's fairly easy to look around a space and decide what belongs and what doesn't. But to others, decluttering is a stressful, overwhelming experience. These are my 5 tips to clearing visual clutter. Number 1, move through your space systematically, focusing on one room at a time. I think it's important to dedicate the time needed to complete a space from start to finish. I like to write a quick list of all the rooms I'm choosing to declutter. Beside it, I add a realistic amount of time needed to go through each space. Just like everything, this process will look different for everyone. It may take some people a day, others a week, or a month. You have to do what works for you. I chose to complete this phase in 1 week. I carved out a certain amount of time each day and worked through my list depending on how much time I had. A week was enough time that I didn't feel rushed, but it also was short enough that I noticed a significant difference. Number 2, if it isn't a clear yes, then it's a clear no. As I move through my space, I use the advice from Greg McKeown's book, Essentialism. Focus on the items you want to keep, the clear yeses. This will help you recognize and differentiate between the items that you love and the items that you have but don't add any value to your life. A perfect example of this is my kitchen. The purpose of my open shelving is to display specific items that are used regularly. So the first thing I do is take down everything and decide on the items I want to keep, my must-haves, my clearly yeses. With this pile, I ask myself a few questions. Do I use this regularly? Should it be on display? Is there a place that it would better be stored? Remember that keeping an item and just moving it into a closet or cupboard will just make part 2 of this process longer and more difficult. So is the item you're holding really worth spending the time and energy to contemplate over a second time? All the remaining items are removed, donated, sold, or placed in the trash. So this is all the stuff that I am getting rid of. That is the stuff that I'm gonna keep, but it just needs to find a new home. This is a space that drives me crazy every time I walk by it. It just has so much junk.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. sleep. Hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
Number 3, a place for everything and everything in its place. I feel like this is especially true in clearing visual clutter. If you are keeping an item, it should have a specific home and be tidily returned to the spot when not in use. If the item doesn't have a dedicated space and is not going to be used, just get rid of it. Cedar and I went through her playroom yesterday. This is all the stuff that together we decided she wasn't going to keep. And some of her games, some of her dress-up clothes, and then this is the stuff she decided to keep. So we have board games over here, puzzles, so we have another section of books down here, and she wanted to keep 2 cubbies empty, so we did that. And this is what her playroom looks like now. Number 4, include others in the process. I like to include my daughter in the decluttering process. We use phrases like, do you want to keep this, or should we give it to someone else to love? Would you like to keep this or that? Which one of these do you love more? I want to teach her that it's okay to let things go that we don't use or love. I don't force her to get rid of anything, and I don't limit her to a certain number of things. It's amazing the choices that kids make. Number 5, do a second sweep of the space. Once you become a little bit more comfortable with less in your space, it's a good idea to do a second sweep. Often the items that you were contemplating are now easier to let go of. Items that you thought you needed now seem out of place. So this is the stuff that I am keeping. I'm going to be putting my golf shoes in my golf bag. It's picnic stuff. My purse and the clothes can just go upstairs. This is a bag of olive cedars. Stuff for when she's a baby. We keep it at the front door just in case there's a fire. And this is all the stuff that is leaving. Some bags, some boots. I need to get a new helmet, so that's why I'm getting rid of my snowboard helmet. This is my wedding dress, but it is like filthy at the end and broken, so I am not going to be keeping it. But yes, this is all the stuff that I am either donating or throwing out. What I'm planning on doing is taking everything out of here. I want to sell this teak display cabinet. Then I'm gonna add built-ins into the space. This is where I have my sewing machine, my little mindset board. And this is where I have another display cabinet that I want to sell. Cedar and I did her room yesterday. This is all the stuff that she is getting rid of. I'm so surprised she got rid of this filthy pink bunny because she has absolutely loved that. This is an entire bag of clothing that I'm gonna wash and go through and either consign or donate. Got rid of a few stuffies. I'm gonna end the video here. This is all of the stuff that I have gotten rid of just in Visual Clutter. In the next episode, we will tackle those hidden away spaces, junk drawers, closets, the storage room. If you're anything like me, this is going to be a daunting task. So join me as we continue the process of living with less.